Hey guys, Person here, and I'm back with another commentary about a rivalry that has gone down south as of late, and that is between the Yankees and the Red Sox. Back in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, these two teams constantly went at each other and made a great story of who was the better team. And for the most part, Yankees kind of won most of the games. But once again, these two teams constantly went back at each other. And their postseason history as of earlier, from 95 and up, the Yankees won the ALCS against the Red Sox in 1999. They beat them in 2003, 4-3, the series in the Championship Series once again, and they lost to them in 2004 in the Championship Series 3-4. Now, some of these series are pretty significant. In 2003, Aaron Boone, with his walk-off home run in extra innings, I believe, against Tim Wakefield, that sent the Yankees to the Red Sox. That was a stinger for the Red Sox. As in 2004, Yankees were up 3-0 in the series, expected to win, but the Red Sox pull off one of the greatest miracles in sports history, coming back down 3-0 and going to win on the series 4-3. Those were pretty much the key highlights. Also, you got the A-Rod and Varitek battle between them, when A-Rod and Jason Varitek had an interesting conversation in Fenway, and that led out to the benches clearing. And then you had 2009, where the Yankees lost 8 straight games to the Red Sox, constantly getting swept, and then they went up to destroy them towards the end of the season and made it to the playoffs. That was a stinger for the Red Sox. And then more recently, in 2011, you had the Yankees come back to win the division after a Red Sox collapse. I believe they had like an 11-game lead, and that led to the firing of Terry Francona. Yeah, so pretty big rivalry between these two teams, but as of late, not really too much. The only really thing that happened was the Red Sox won the World Series in 2013, but 2014 and 15, they're not doing too well. 2012 also was not the best for the Red Sox. They kind of went under there. But the Yankees have stayed relatively consistent, relatively in the race every year. And that's what's ruined this rivalry a bit, is that the Yankees, they've been doing pretty much all right these past couple of years, but the Red Sox have been iffy. Some years they're good, some years they're not. Some years they can win the World Series, sometimes they can just flop the next year. That also takes into play with the Red Sox and Yankees rivalry. Back in the early 2000s, mid-2000s, these two teams were finished first, second, constantly. Wild card spots always being taken between these two teams. They were always in the playoffs, and now it seems to be that both of them are just never in the playoffs now, which kind of ruins it a bit. Playoffs are always where key matchups and key players come alive in series, and it's sad to see that the Red Sox and Yankees aren't making the playoffs and aren't really doing too well in the regular season as well. Maybe just a turn of tide, but I'd like to see the two teams make the playoffs, because it'd be interesting to see, because they don't really face each other that often in the playoffs, really, since the 2000s. And that's when the heat of the rivalry continued. It's also nice to see how they made a trade, which is rare. I mean, the Yankees got Steven Drew for sending Kelly Johnson to the Red Sox last year, the trade deadline. That was interesting a bit. Teams don't really do that kind of thing if they're angry for each other. They don't really trade in the division. So, but the fans are really into it. I can still see, if you look at the Yankee games at Yankee Stadium and Fenway Park, there always tends to be a lot of boos and cheers for the opposite team in their home stadium. So the fans still have the rivalry, but for the most part, the players have died down a bit. You see the two teams joking around a bit. Don't really like that. I mean, I liked it better when they hate each other's guts, especially with Pedro Martinez and Manny Ramirez. Though that was the fun times, when they get to see the arguing, the back and forth, the constant hitting at each other, and then who's really better. And stuff like that I like to see in baseball, where you don't really know which team is going to win each game, because between the Red Sox and Yankees before, you never know which one, because they're pretty much great talent all around, and you never know which one was going to win. And I kind of like to see that stuff in baseball. It's kind of why I lost interest in the bet ever since these two teams haven't really done much each other. So that's pretty much it for the commentary. I wish the Yankees and Red Sox can get back to work and finally make the playoffs. I mean, Yankees are doing subpar as of now, but the Red Sox, they're last place in the AL East. And I believe they were last place last year. Not looking too good for both teams. So that's pretty much it, guys. So my person, I'll see you guys later. So see ya.